Here's Coach Dutcher right now. Coach Brian Dutcher from the San Diego State basketball team on Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090 on the Corky's Hotline. Hi, Coach.
Hi, Scott. Hi, BR. How you guys doing?
Doing great, Coach. How about yourself?
Good. Everything's good.
All right. Coach, start us off with this. You're jumping in the middle of this conversation about Jalen McDaniels. What do you think about his announcement that he's going to test the NBA waters?
Whatever Coach Fisher said, I'm good with.
Great answer.
No. I mean, I think it's a good thing. You know, the thing I told Jalen is, Malik did this, and I said, don't go there just to say you worked out to find out what you need to work on. You only get one chance at a first impression. So if you're going there, put it all out there. Catch lightning in a bottle, show them everything you're about, and maybe they'll say you're a first-round pick, but you get one chance at a first impression. So just don't go there to say you did it. Go there and put everything into it.
If this kid came to you and said, Coach, what are the things I need to work on in my game to become an NBA player? As his coach and as somebody who cares about him, what would you tell him?
I've said all year I think Jalen's a better shooter than he showed. I think he can shoot the jump shot out to the three-point range. Now, I don't know if he can shoot it to the NBA range yet, but I think he needs to continue to show people he can do that. Obviously, weight and strength is something we can't coach him to. That just has to be, eat, lift weights, and hopefully your body at some point will accept the extra weight you need to put on for that type of pounding over an NBA career. So, that's more his body willing to take that weight. But from a skill standpoint, I think he has instincts. I think he has a high motor, which just means he plays hard all the time. He has a knack to rebound the ball. He's a pretty good passer, improving. He can get better at that. But I'd say his shooting. He's going to have to face up and shoot that jump shot better than he's doing right now.
Coach Brian Dutcher on Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090, the San Diego State head basketball coach. San Diego State bounced from the NCAA tournament. We'll get to that in a second. Jalen McDaniels, a redshirt freshman, has announced that he's planning on going to the NBA or at least testing the waters. Coach, at the beginning of the year, if I would have said to you, Jalen McDaniels is going to do this, given that he didn't play last year, but you saw him in practice, you knew what he was all about, would this have surprised you that he had this kind of year that he could even be considering this?
No, not really, Scott. I mean, we debated the redshirt year if we even needed to redshirt him. Coach Fisher and I and Justin, the staff talked, and, should we redshirt Jalen? He's good enough to play right now. But we just thought, with what we had back and the minutes that were out there, he'd be better served if we redshirted him. And so when he came on the scene, it's not a surprise. We thought he was a dynamic player out of high school. He went undefeated his senior year, won a state title, played great in practice all last year. And so when he went on the floor and showed us some of the stuff, it was not a surprise.
Where's he from, Coach?
He's from Seattle.
Oh, Seattle.
He went to Federal Way High School.
Yeah, I said Canada for some reason.
No.
All right, that's close.
And the family's actually originally from Chicago, and Juwan Howard, who I recruited to Michigan, is related to Jalen and his family. So that helped us in the recruitment some.
Coach, how much do you think Malik Pope influenced this young man by saying, hey, look, I did this early in my career when I was a hot commodity. I've made it to my senior year. Very frankly, I'm not sure Malik's going to be drafted in these two rounds. Maybe he gets a shot with an NBA team. I'm sure he will get a shot. But how much do you think Malik Pope's experience helped contribute to Jalen McDaniels' announcement?
I think Jalen's his own guy, and his family, made this decision together that they thought they should test the waters. I think he obviously knew Malik had done it in his career, but I don't know firsthand if he and Malik had any extended conversations on it.
I just wonder if Malik said, I wonder if Malik says, hey, dude, you got to go do this because I did it.
I don't think so.
Oh, no. Interesting.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It might have come up, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I wonder if Malik
Malik is more focused on his own thing right now, trying to get himself ready to get to some of these workouts a second time and show people that his game's improved and he's ready for an opportunity.
Yeah. What do you think? Is he an NBA player?
Malik or Jalen?
Malik.
I think Malik will have an opportunity. I think he'll have an opportunity to be drafted. I don't know if it'll be first round. It might be somewhere in the second. And I think if not, he'll get to a training camp. He'll play in the summer league and have an opportunity to prove himself. So I think what he's done is a stretch four and at that level, and he's shown obviously glimpses of it, and he just has to do it over a longer period of time. So I think there's definitely interest in Malik.
All right, we're talking to Brian Dutcher, the head basketball coach at San Diego State. They were knocked out of the NCAA tournament by Houston in the first round. Again, Coach, we'll get there in 1 second, but last thing. USD across town has a head coaching vacancy. And our colleague in the afternoon, Darren Smith, keeps mentioning that your assistant, Justin Hudson, would be a guy that USD might have interest in because they've interviewed him in years past when they've had vacancies. Is Justin Hudson, as far as you know, is he a candidate for the USD basketball job?
I don't think so at this point. I don't think USD is doing anything real public. They're still playing in the CIP, and Sam Scholl's doing a great job with the team. So I don't think anything. I don't think they're meeting with any candidates at this point. They may be putting a list together, but I think out of respect to Sam and the team, I think they're waiting till the season ends before they decide what direction they want to go with candidates.
Well, I'm glad you told me they were still playing in the CIT. I had no idea.
Yeah, they've won their first 2 games. They're still playing. Sam's doing a good job. They've got a good team. I mean, we saw that firsthand this year.
Trying to get Rick Pitino that job, you know.
Are you? Let me know how that goes.
Yeah. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Coach Dutcher, let's go back to what happened as the season wrapped up. You guys were 13-10. People were calling for your head already. People were saying that you've screwed up what Fisher left you. I'm sure you heard the criticism. And this team goes on this great streak at the end of the year, wins 6 straight games, beats Boise State, Nevada at home to finish the season, goes to the Mountain West Conference tournament, destroys Nevada, wins the whole tournament. I mean, Coach, before we even get to the NCAAs, what was that winning streak like for you? And I want to hear about cutting down the nets.
It was magical. I mean, and it's easy to say. I said at the time, I think we're the best team in the Mountain West Conference back when we started the winning streak. Because I knew 4 out of our last 6 games were at home. And we're tough to beat in Viejas. And I knew the 2 road games were lower division teams at Air Force and San Jose. So I knew it was set up for a win streak at the end of the season. I just hope we were in the conference race still at that time, where we could have Nevada coming in here to play for the regular season title. But, you know, we stumbled along the way, and they created enough space where the win streak was still there, but the chance to win a regular season title had already gone out the window. So I thought the schedule set up well. I thought having everybody healthy down the stretch was really important. That 6-game win streak at the end of the regular season started with Trey Kell getting back in the lineup and getting healthy.
You know, the game against Nevada in the second round of the Mountain West Conference tournament, Coach, in all of my years of watching San Diego State basketball, and I would say in the last maybe 10 years, like really being close to it, I've never seen an offensive half of basketball like that first half against Nevada where everything dropped. Have you?
No, not for a long time. Not like that. No, to be 30 ahead at halftime of a team as good as Nevada is unheard of. And yet we did it, and we were playing at a level that we hadn't played at all year, obviously.
And now Nevada, Coach, look at this. They've got a chance with their upset against Cincinnati, down by 22 points. A team you guys destroyed was down 22 points to Cincinnati. The champions of the AAC, you guys wound up losing to Houston, who lost to them in the championship game. Nevada, a team you just destroyed, comes back from 22 points against Cincinnati. Did you see that?
Absolutely, and it doesn't make me feel as bad about slowing the game down the second half of the conference tournament. We were up 30. You know, we were turning the ball over, and they were trapping us all over. I just did not want the team to shoot quick. I wanted to run time every possession and without totally milking the clock, but to be cautious as to how we approached it because I knew they had that type of capability, and obviously they've shown that. They have a lot of grit and toughness about them.
Yeah, and then, Coach, you get to the NCAA tournament. You've won 9 straight games. You win the Mountain West. The buzz is back. The trajectory of the program is back all of a sudden. And then you run into this kid from Houston, Man Bun, Rob Gray. What a performance this kid had. And yet, even when these guys were trying to pull away Houston, this San Diego State team, I know it sounds cliche, but very resilient this year, very tough-minded. They'd been down where everybody counted them out. They kept battling back. Devin Watson, so huge at the end with back-to-back threes. But, Coach, this guy Rob Gray was just individual talent, just too much that night.
Yeah, he was at another level. He was fantastic. And, you know, I thought we did a pretty good job guarding him with that said. And the very next night when he played Michigan, I don't know what he put up, but he was sensational in that game too. So he was a hard guard. And, you know, I wish at the last play of the game we'd have doubled him or come over with earlier help and made him score over us. We kind of gave him a layup, but I just love the fight in our team. You know, to be down the way we were down, we turned the ball over way too much in the first half, 10 turnovers. Then we only had 2 the second half, which let us come back. And then we missed 14 free throws. So,
right.
There are things that you look back on and you think we could still be playing. I feel as if we're good as any of these teams still left in the tournament, but that's the beauty of the NCAA tournament. Virginia's saying the same thing, and North Carolina, and you get one shot at it. And if you suffer through it doesn't have to be a whole game. If you suffer through a 2 or 3 minute bad stretch, you can be at home like we are.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, real quick, I wanted to just get back to you cutting down the nets because I was so happy for you, given all the criticism that you'd received when the team was 13-10, winning the Mountain West Conference tournament. You've cut down the nets before as the assistant, but this was your first year, and when things didn't look good, you got this thing turned around, you and the players. What was that moment like for you?
It was special. And in the job description for head coach, it says comes with criticism. So I don't really worry about that. I know I've been doing it long enough as an assistant to know that, hindsight is always the best sight, and everybody has that when you lose games. But I love my group. They stuck with it. They were resilient. They were hard to guard and tough-minded, and we found a way to do it. And then I finally got to cut the last strand down. I've been watching Coach Fisher cut that last strand for 20-some years. So to cut the last strand and get a hold of it over my head was a special moment, and more for my seniors, to see them go out. I know the public was hard on them. They were so ballyhooed, and Trey and Malik. But when you look at the end of the day, they went to 2 NCAA tournaments. They hung 3 conference championship banners, and they had a really nice career at San Diego State.
Coach, I got chills what you just said, because the truth of the matter is, if you guys don't make it to the NCAA tournament this year, you might look at Trey Kell and Malik Pope, and you might look at their careers and go, man, 4 years, and there's not a whole lot to show for it. And I'm telling you, in a 6-game winning streak and 3 games through the Mountain West Conference tournament, having them make the NCAA tournament while UCLA was sitting at home or got bounced early in the play-in game, or USC didn't even make it, Cal, Stanford, not even in, Arizona getting bounced early and all their problems. I'm telling you that the trajectory of the program changed because you guys made this tournament. I think you'll tell us how much different it is in recruiting, of course.
Absolutely. Instead of saying we made it 6 years in a row and haven't gone the last 3, now we say we've been to the NCAA tournament 7 in the last 9 years. That sounds a heck of a lot better, doesn't it?
It does.
So,
Better.
when you say, hey, man, San Diego State's been to the tournament 7 and 9 years, you think, wow, they've been doing incredible things. And so one run, one conference tournament can change perception. And I think, the difference between winning and losing is paper thin. And right now we're playing upon the winning side of that.
Right on. Coach, great season. Congratulations on your first year making it to the NCAA tournament, winning the Mountain West Conference tournament. It really turned into a spectacular season. Congrats, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, BR.
You bet.
All right, there's Coach Brian Dutcher.